History began when humans invented gods, and will end when humans become gods. Have you ever wondered why humans rule the world? Because we're so smart, right? Well, there's actually a bit more to it. Today, I want to introduce you to a book called Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind. Now, unlike most books we read these days, this is nonfiction. But it's not like any nonfiction book you read. This is truly something else. The author is an Israeli historian and professor in history at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem, Yuval Noah Harari. In the book, he talks about how humans went from nothing to the masters of the world. He starts off by clarifying the fact that at the emergence of our species, we were nothing. Our impacts on the world were insignificant. A big question that the book answers is how we went from that to what we are today. There are three main revolutions that we went through: the cognitive revolution, the agricultural revolution, and the scientific revolution. The book takes you through the ages of human history and explains how all of these revolutions changed humanity and the world. Along the way, it asks and answers big questions like, why are we ruling the world and not, for example, chimpanzees? Why are we the only human species left on the planet today? What is the meaning of our existence, or of anything's existence? Happiness? If so, have we really become happier than we were in prehistoric times, etc.? But today, I'll be focusing on one question: how do we become the masters of the world? This is one of many interesting concepts that he develops in the book. I'm summarizing part of what he wrote. Harari says that a common misconception is that humans are just simply more superior than all other animals individually. We like to believe that there's something that makes me so special, but there isn't. On an individual level, I am actually embarrassingly similar to a chimpanzee. So he discovered that the key to our success does not mainly rely on our individual skills, but on our ability to cooperate flexibly in very large numbers. Many other animals can cooperate too. The ants, for example, can cooperate in huge numbers, and they can build 2-meter tall hills. But their cooperation is based on a fixed pattern written in their genetic codes. They are unable to kill their queen and start a revolution overnight because their cooperation is too rigid. Take another example, the chimpanzees. They can cooperate very flexibly. They can communicate their ideas and feelings very effectively, but they can only cooperate in very small numbers because their cooperation is based on very intimate personal relationships. If a chimpanzee does not recognize another, they can't cooperate simply because they need to know each other well enough before they can trust each other. And because they can only know so many chimpanzees well enough at once, their cooperation is limited to only a few hundred at most. However, humans are the only animals that can combine these two abilities. We can cooperate very flexibly and in extremely large numbers. How do we do this? Harari's reason is because of our imagination, our ability to make up stories. We are the only animals that live in a double reality. All other animals live only in the objective reality, like all the trees, the oceans, the lions, etc. All the things, all the physical things you can see and you can touch. We as humans, however, have made a second layer of reality called the fictional reality. We've made up stories such as countries, companies, God, laws, rights, money, and so on. It is because so many people believe in these fictional stories that we can all cooperate. If you and I didn't know each other at all, we probably couldn't cooperate at all. But if you believed in the same laws as I do, I would be able to trust you, since I would know that if you cheated me, you would be thrown in jail. So now we can work together. Imagine if everyone in our village, or our country, or even the whole world believed in the same system of law, the same principles, then everyone can work together. Well, why do we follow all these laws? What if we broke them behind people's backs? Nobody needs to know. Well, because God wants us to follow all these laws, and He can see everything we do. He's another fictional story that we've made up so that people can believe in and that everyone can cooperate together. Now that we can all cooperate, with all of our intellect combined, we can achieve things truly extraordinary together. If you think about it, many of the most important things in the world today are fictional. Harari made a funny example with human rights. He says, humans don't actually have any rights. If you cut a man open, you'll find blood, lungs, kidneys, but you won't find any rights. Perhaps the best story ever told, he says, is the story of money. Not everyone believes in rights or God or the law, but everyone believes in money. In truth, it's just a piece of paper. I can't eat it, I can't drink it, it has no value to me. But the bank convinced me that this piece of paper is worth 50 apples, and those are valuable to me. The bank convinced everyone in this world that this piece of paper is worth something that is valuable to them. So it has value to everybody, and everybody believes in it. Osama bin Laden, he hated God, he hated the law, he hated America, he hated human rights, but he had no problems with money. This is what makes us different from chimpanzees. Harari says that if you tell a chimpanzee that if he gives you his banana, then after his death, he will go to a banana heaven where he can enjoy endless delicious bananas for eternity because of his good deeds here on earth. He would never believe you, but a human could. That is why we rule the world today and not them. Nowadays, these fictional stories have become so powerful that they decide what happens to the objective reality, like our ecosystem. From that, the book goes on much further and develops many more amazing new concepts. I'll leave all that for you to find out. This book's level of thinking took me beyond this universe. Reading it has been a life-changing experience for me. Today, I invite all of you to share that experience with me.